Ohio crime victims won a major victory in last week's election, but a Channel 3 investigation found many are being victimized again by the same criminals.
The investigator, Tom Meyer, found that convicted felons are getting away without paying their victims court-ordered compensation.
Expressing comments to her, she's concerned he might return.
Crime victims took center stage in Cleveland's mayoral race and in Issue 1.
This is a man that took a woman and brutally brutalized her.
A crime victim's Bill of Rights that includes input into restitution.
A Channel 3 news investigation found that thousands of victims are not receiving restitution. Millions of dollars unpaid.
They're not listening to the people who have been victimized.
Businessman Patrick Casase victimized his employees in 2009. His former company provided janitorial and security services. Now, Casase operates an alpaca and llama farm with 50 animals in Huron County. Price of an average alpaca, about 10 grand.
Can you make a decent living at it?
If you look at all aspects of the business, yes.
Casase fleeced his employees' 401k accounts, including 15 grand from Bob, who asked us not to use his last name.
It's very significant because I have all kinds of bills to pay. I've got medical issues.
Casase has reimbursed Bob 3 grand, but he's making payments of only 25 bucks a month.
Are you saying your victims won't get their money then for decades?
I have life insurance. So if I die before decades, then I guess they can make a claim.
It would take Casase 42 years to pay off his debt. The alpaca farmer would be 114 years old, but he says it's all he can afford.
I barely make ends meet.
I believe Patrick Casase is playing with the system.
And then there's the issue of unclaimed restitution. It's the court's responsibility to contact victims.
It's not hard to find people.
And to make them aware.
You found me.
The county was unable to locate Julia Allen, whose elderly in-law was a victim of theft.
The problem is effort. There's no effort being placed into doing this.
Incredibly, RTA, CMHA Police, the county clerk of courts all have unclaimed money. Add gas stations, banks, and fast food restaurants to the list.
Someone in the county, the judge, bailiff, someone needs to do their job.
In Cuyahoga County, $8 million in restitution has been ordered, but most has gone unpaid.
I will say you bring some very good points.
The county's administrative judge says, based on our story, he'll look at changes that would connect more victims with their money.
And to step back and say, hey, here's a list of victims, and what do we need to do to make sure that they're not victimized again?
You'd think that criminals who don't pay restitution would be locked up.
There's virtually no consequences, and that's the problem.
Victim advocates want changes that would include the power to garnish a criminal's wages or seize their assets.
Victims are very frustrated when the court orders restitution and they don't see a penny of it.
Help may soon be on the way for victims. Advocates say legislation expected next year would include stiffer sanctions for those who fail to pay restitution. I'm the investigator, Tom Meyer.